Look, Derrick White, we need to talk about this. Derrick White, when he's on the floor, Boston has outscored opponents by 265 points so far this season. That is third in the NBA. They are 22-4 with him in the lineup. He is second in the NBA, the entire NBA, in points per direct pick, okay? Tyrese Halliburton, number one. Second in the NBA in points per direct touch. If he gets the ball, he's second in the NBA in generating a point. He's top 10 in the NBA in field goal percentage allowed as the closest defender. What you're seeing is one of the best two-way players in the NBA impacting winning on the best team in basketball.
So Derrick White is obviously having a huge impact on the court for the Celtics. In this video, we're going to do a deep dive on the film and break down what exactly makes White one of the NBA's best two-way players. Now the first thing I want to go over is White's defense. I think Derrick right now is one of the league's best point of attack defenders, being able to pressure and contain the ball from well outside of the three. Now physically, White doesn't have the natural tools of size and length that other elite perimeter defenders have, but Derrick's combination of foot speed and strength allows him to still be a really problematic on-ball defender. You'll see Cade Cunningham here turn the corner off the screen, and notice how White both has the foot speed to cut off his driving angle and the stability to absorb this bump and make a play on the ball. You can really appreciate how physically solid Derrick is on this play, where LeBron is in transition going at him full speed. And notice how White doesn't open up his stance and keeps himself square to the ball, and he forces James into a rare miss at the rim. Now that physicality also extends out to the perimeter, and White is elite at using that blend of strength and mobility to navigate around screens and keep himself attached to the ball. One thing Derrick loves to do is eat up the space between him and the ball handler, to then use that core strength to push them back and wedge himself between the ball and the screener. And even if the ball handler is able to turn the corner, White's still going to be in their airspace, which really makes the offense's decision making much tougher. White is also great at reading when to specifically fight over or under these picks that are extended out pretty far away from the basket. On this play, notice how Davis is setting the screen 30 feet from the rim, and because Reeves isn't the type of guy that's going to pull it from this deep going right, Derrick can just simply dart under this pick. But when Davis flips around and resets it, he now is 1 foot below the three. So this time Derrick is going to pressure over and force Reeves downhill into help, which causes Austin to pull out his dribble and turn this whole play into a wash. Now another really important element in White's defensive impact is going to be his awareness. Derrick is constantly reading the game and playing one step ahead of the offense. And we can really see that when we look at his off-ball defense. On this play, you'll see LeBron and AD playing a two-man game. And as Davis catches this pocket pass, notice how he pulls Porzingis across the paint to provide extra help, which leaves White on the weak side here defending these two players. But watch how Derrick has his eyes glued on Davis, and he reads him like a cornerback and picks off this pass. We have White again here playing in help on the weak side, and when the ball enters the paint and collapses Boston's defense, Derrick now has to cover both of these players spotting up. And when the ball gets kicked out, notice how White initially closes out and takes away the extra pass. And from this spot, he also has the foot speed to scramble back down and poke the ball free from behind. This play really shows how elite White is at shifting out to take away both the shot and drive. You'll see him here drop down to provide extra help on this ball screen. And when the ball gets sprayed out to Mikal Bridges, you'll notice how he has a pretty clear driving angle towards the baseline. But before Bridges even puts the ball down, watch how White already has all his weight loaded on his outside foot, and he's able to push himself back downhill to wall off this drive. And many of White's high impact plays don't always show up on the stat sheet or highlight reels, but they do for sure play a huge factor in Boston's success. Take this play for example. We have White here defending in gap, while Austin Reeves is working off this ball screen. And from this spot, White is sitting pretty deep in help, and the Lakers from here are pretty much playing 3-on-2. And when Reeves tries to zip the ball to the corner to create a scramble, White again has the ability to jump out and take away both the shot and drive. And this takes away any advantage for the Lakers to attack, and it leads to a standstill contested 2. Now, one major factor that separates White from your typical backcourt defender is that Derrick is also one of the NBA's best rim protectors. At the time of this recording, White is averaging 1.3 blocks per game, which is the highest number for all guards, and it also ranks him 18th across the league. Now at 6'4" with a 6'7" wingspan, Derrick doesn't have the natural build to rack up a ton of blocks. But one thing physically that I think makes Derrick stand out is that he has really quick pop off the floor. Simply being able to spring up and reach the height of his jump and beat the offense to the rim. Right here you'll see the explosive Jaden Ivey get this baseline drive. And notice how he gets off the floor here well before White. But from this spot, Derrick has the ability to shoot up and meet Ivey at the height of his jump. Now on this play, we have Austin Reaves attacking downhill. And again, notice how Reaves gets off the floor well before White does. But like a jack in the box, Derrick has the ability to spring up and meet Reaves at the rim. I almost feel bad for Austin Reaves on this play, because offensively he pretty much does everything right. By first losing White on the perimeter, refusing to screen, then protecting the ball with his body by getting to this inside hand reverse layup. But White again cancels out all that good offense by simply extending up and beating Reaves to the rim. This might be my favorite clip of the entire video, where White is sprinting back in transition with Jaden Ivey coming at him full speed. And while attacking, notice how Ivey is going to give him a slight nudge with his off arm. About 95% of players from Derrick's spot here would stumble forward and have no chance of stopping their momentum and getting re-squared with the ball. But White from here has the ability to both turn mid-stride and pop up to eliminate this finish. So in essence, White has real shot blocking presence around the basket, and that threat by itself can deter drives. Right here we have RJ Barrett coming downhill with a strong left hand, and White sitting on the block here is able to take away RJ's finish at the rim and push him out into a more difficult fadeaway jumper. Now White's shot blocking also extends out beyond the paint, and his ability to both quickly cover ground and instantly pop off the floor allows him to block or heavily contest any pull-up jumper in his airspace. You'll see the Pistons here have Ivey catch and immediately tack off this ball screen, and Jaden is able to get a good amount of breathing room between him and White. But watch how Derrick is going to teleport up and get his hand right in Ivey's shooting window to turn this routine jumper into a brick off the glass. Now when moving on and looking at White's offense, the first thing we have to look at is his passing. Derrick currently leads the Celtics in assists at 5.3 a game, and I think this stat shows what White's main role is in the Celtics offense. Derrick is primarily used as a connector for all of Boston's scoring talent, and White does find opportunities to playmake from a variety of situations, but most of his dimes come out of pick and roll, where I wouldn't necessarily say White is a top tier passer across the league, but he is really good at making quick and simple reads, which is all he really needs with the amount of talent he's surrounded by. When playing out of pick and roll, White is really accurate with these lob passes, which he uses to both set up dunks at the rim or lead his teammates perfectly into a catch and finish. Watch Derrick here release this pass before this roller even gets a foot in the paint, and it hits him right in stride behind the defense, leading to an easy catch and finish. This pass isn't out of pick and roll, but the accuracy on this delivery is crazy. Watch Luke Cornett here drop down as if he's going to set this pin down screen, but then he slips towards the rim, and from the logo, White puts up this lob that hits Cornett right at the apex of his jump. And White also likes to use his leaping ability to pop up and create angles for his passes. On this play, notice how White is being guarded by the 6'7" Anthony Black, and he also has to deal with the 6'10" Paolo Banchero sitting in drop. But watch how White is going to leap over the trees and create this passing window over the Magic's length. And Derrick's ability to find ways to hit the roller attracts heavy attention from the backline defense, which opens up more levels to White's passing. Right here, notice how Horford diving towards the basket pulls Chicago's backline defense into the paint, which leaves both corners open for spot-up threes. The Celtics at times also like to use White as a screener. You'll see Tatum here pull two defenders towards the ball, which opens up the slip pass to White. And from here, White has all the tools to pretty much make any pass, but he gets back to his favorite lob at the rim. So obviously, the next important piece to White's offensive game is going to be his scoring. But if you want to see that part of my breakdown, that video is going to be exclusively on my Patreon, where you can get access to all my exclusive breakdowns. But regardless, I still appreciate you stopping by, and I'll see you on the next one. The kid's here.